Hey, this is Kevin Sheehan with SHE BBQ TV, and boy, are you in for a treat today. I'm going to make a couple of my favorites for tailgating. Salt crusted potatoes with a cilantro chimichurri sauce and pork bites. Now these are little small pieces of boneless pork wrapped in bacon with an orange marmalade glaze. They are awesome. So get your taste buds ready to go and let's go tailgate. Alright, now here we go. So we've got ourselves about, 3 pounds of pork tenderloin, or actually I've got something called pork brisket here. It's a nice boneless piece of pork. Just trimming away any fat you may not want to have on there. Get yourself a nice sharp knife and your butcher block and start cutting your boneless pork into about 1-inch cubes. And you could use this recipe also for beef or big turkey breast or chicken if you wanted to. There we go. You want to cut the cubes in about the same size because that way they're all going to cook evenly when you got them out on the grill when you're tailgating. Alright, we're about done cutting the pork, and this is what it looks like. Several pounds of nice pork cubes. And we're going to go ahead and transfer all of that over into a nice big bowl and take some pecan rub. You can use any barbecue rub that you have. I just happen to have some John Henry's pecan rub. Something that we like in our family. Is sweet, got a little bit of pepper in it, and kind of a maple pecan flavor going on there. So mix it all up, make sure it's evenly coated all over the place. It's going to give it a nice color like that. Now it's time for the bacon. Whoops, that's a little early. It's a little too soon for bacon there. We need some, there we go, that's what I'm talking about. So go to the grocery store, get yourself a package of bacon and open it up, and we're going to go ahead and cut this into thirds. There we go. And what we're going to do is, my little friend there is going to give us a toothpick, and we're going to take and wrap each cube of pork that we have in a piece of bacon. Pretty easy. Just lay the bacon out, take a piece of pork, lay it in there, wrap it over, and secure it with a toothpick. Now you're going to be making a bunch of these, so you're going to need a lot of toothpicks, and for sure the amount of meat that we have here is going to feed lots of people at our tailgate. We'll do a couple more here. Yep, just go through it. If you're sticking it through the lean or through the fat, either way it's all gonna stay on there. Right. And then when we're done, we're gonna have a nice plate of cubed meat with the bacon wrapped in it, over around it with our toothpicks. Yep. Gonna hit it with a little bit more of our rub. There we go. And we're just gonna go ahead and transfer that over into a bowl, and we're gonna make the glaze for this. And for the glaze, you need some ginger, some orange marmalade, soy sauce, garlic, honey, sea salt, and pepper. Pretty easy to make, and I just use the whole jar here. The recipe that I use calls for a cup, and this is about 1.5 cups of orange marmalade, but I just go ahead and use the whole thing, and you put in all these different seasonings, and then at the end you kind of season it to taste. Little honey bear there, it's about 1/3 cup of honey. We like garlic, and so we put in a bunch of garlic in there. I'd already put in some soy sauce. There it is, there's the soy sauce. So we got some soy sauce going in, and the garlic, crystallized ginger, the sea salt, and pepper. Yep, tastes good. You can use crystallized ginger, or you can use ground ginger in it, or fresh ginger, whatever you like. Taste it and see if you like it. Add what else you want. There you go. Pour it on. Just about 1/3 of the marinade that you made. Put that over the meat and just kind of let that set. We're going to put that on the grill here in a little bit, and while we're doing that, we're going to get our potatoes started. The salt crusted potatoes, really easy to make. Fill up a pan, get an old pan, get it ready to boil. Put 2 tablespoons of salt in it. If you don't like a lot of salt, put about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of salt. Get some new potatoes here. I've got some Klondikes that we're going to use, and a couple of reds. Just pop them in. Make sure that the water covers the potatoes, and let it boil. What you're going to do is let this boil completely down until all of the water is gone. Well, that salt is going to crust on top of those potatoes, and we're going to dip them in a cilantro chimichurri sauce. And what you need is about a half a jalapeno, some cilantro, olive oil, sea salt, garlic, cumin, and then some type of vinegar. And you can use white wine vinegar. I just happen to have some rice vinegar. Right, so I'm only going to use about a half of a jalapeno. You can use a serrano pepper in here if you like. Just chop it up. We're going to take the cilantro. You can pick all the leaves off if you like. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of rough chop the leaves up with the stems. What we're going to do is kind of pulverize all this in a mortar and pestle, right? Or if you've got a little food processor, you can certainly use that also. So pull out the mortar and pestle, and we're going to just load it up and add in the other ingredients and just start smashing away. This is kind of the fun part. No particular order to anything. And again, this is seasoned to taste. We're going to put in about a tablespoon of sea salt. A little too much there. We go. And what have we got here? Cumin, right? So about a teaspoon of cumin, right in the middle of the palm of your hand. And after you mix this together, you just start tasting it and say, gosh, I'd like a little bit more salt, a little bit more garlic. We like garlic in our family, so we're going to load this up. Okay. And that's just really about it. Oh, a little bit of vinegar. Don't go crazy with the vinegar, and don't go crazy with the oil, because that'll just make it too soupy. About 2 tablespoons of vinegar and no more than a quarter cup to a half a cup of oil. There we go. A little bit of EVOO. And then we get to start smashing. And that's what it looks like, right? And you're just going to go. If you had a food processor, just turn that on and get it to the consistency that you like, and then start tasting it and add in some more ingredients if you want. It's going to end up looking kind of like a paste for sure, right? And it's time to check on the potatoes, and they are boiling well. So kind of stir them around, slosh it around, make sure all that salt water is getting all over the potatoes, and keep a close eye, because once it starts to get below the top of the potatoes, it goes fast. And this is what it looks like when they're done. All the water is evaporated off, and you can see the salt that's starting to dry out on top of the potatoes. And there they are. There is your salt crusted potatoes with the cilantro chimichurri dipping sauce. They're awesome. And we're going to go ahead and check on the grill. So this is the pork out on the grill, bacon wrapped pork. And got a little bit of glaze on there. Don't worry about that bacon. That fat on there is going to keep it nice and moist. Go ahead and flip them over. We've already got a little bit of that marmalade on it, so when you flip it over, you want to make sure that you're not burning, right? Because all that sugar. Go ahead and baste it on the other side just quickly. It does not take long. You're going to cook these for maybe 20 minutes, maybe, right? So you get a good baste on both sides, and it'll really start to caramelize up there and get really gooey and good. That's what they're looking like. And then just a couple minutes after you've basted them a second time, you're going to pull them off and maybe hit them again with that base. But it is gorgeous, sweet bacon pork. And then this is what your plate looks like. Here is your tailgate plate. You got salt crusted potatoes with a cilantro chimichurri sauce, and some really nice pork bacon bites with a nice orange marmalade glaze on top of it. So enjoy yourself, enjoy your tailgating, have a great time. Go Cats!